Welcome to Alan's Day down in Tennessee at our holiday home. It is Monday, Labor Day, and I'm working on the house. That's a good thing. Weather's great. This past weekend I went and picked up Gene's trailer. We got that back here. Let's get started. The last video you saw me putting some stairs in. Somebody putting some concrete in. Put a little temporary threshold so I don't ding that up during construction. But where we're working today is out on the deck. We have to finish up the siding on that. We left this wall for last because I could do it by myself, because I don't have an Alyssa this time to come down and help me. Previous videos you saw Alyssa and I putting siding on scaffolding. That's all I need is a ladder this time around. So I'll just give you a very brief overview on putting trim on a window. Now there's all kinds of videos out there on how to do this, but this is what works for me. So you need bottom trim goes on first. The bottom trim gets a notch and a notch on there, and to determine the notch is you take the distance from your outside from here to here, simply add 3 inches and put a notch in there. Doesn't get any simpler than that. But remember, notch, notch. Now the sides get a notch at the top, and then they get this fancy little it's not really a fancy coat, but it's a little tab on the bottom that gets folded underneath. You'll see how that goes once I get that put in there. And the top gets 2 tabs on there, just like that. So it doesn't get any simpler than that to doing window trim with metal J channel. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it, but this is what works good for me. So let me get started. Well, let's get started. Double notch the bottom first. Next piece, notch at the top and a tab at the bottom. And this piece goes in just like this, where this tab is on the outside, this is on the outside. Slide it into place and make sure that the top is flush. Get some screws in there, and then I'm going to show you how to do the that bottom piece on there. Well, here's how to do this corner to finish her off. Just take that little tab, take that little tab and beat it around. Claw hammer works pretty good for this. Just got to be very gentle when you're tapping with it. Now the next thing is, you got, this is your bottom one. It needs to be cut off of there. And don't throw your pieces on the ground. Pick them up if you can, throw them in your pouch. Next thing is, you got to bend this tab over. Best way I found to do that, I just take my channel locks and clamp that right here Take your trusty hammer. Fold that around. So it's like that. And simply just fold this piece up. So that's your corner. And to finish it off, put a screw in this corner, but before you do that, you need to get a big nail and punch through both of them. Now with that screw, that corner's locked in there. So that's how I do corners with metal trim. One thing just to note, the bottom one overlaps this way so that the water can keep shedding down, and then this fold and crimp goes this direction. But on the top, you're going to crimp this one over to the side because you need this back piece of flashing to overlap this direction. So same thing, you take that little tab that's in there and you bend the tab down, and this time you cut the top one off. In the pouch. And then you go to work and bend this over. So it's holding it here. There we go. We got a nice tight corner. Put my screw in there. And on to the next window. J-channel is in. All the way around the windows here. By the way, this is one of the best days so far this year for working. It was either too cold back in January, and it's been just frickin' awfully hot the last 3 months that I've been coming down here. Beautiful today. I can get something done. So we've got our metal siding like you saw on the rest of the house. That fits into this track right here. And then there's a piece that's going to cover this whole thing up. I went a little bit different than what they recommended. I put a border all the way around right here. The reason I did that is behind this window there's a nailing flange that holds this window in place. If you ever had to replace a window, all you got to do is take this cap off, take this strip off of here, the trim piece. You can get at your screws, pull your window out, replace it. If you don't have that strip in there, you got to tear all your siding off. So anytime that you're putting windows in or somebody else is putting windows in, ask why they don't have a trim piece in there so that you can replace the window, because it's going to be expensive if you got to rip all the siding off and change your window out. So just a little tip for today: put your trim pieces around your windows so you can get your windows back out. Hopefully you'll never need it. Let me just show you what a finished window looks like and what I'm talking about, how this piece is covered up. So on this side of the house, you can see I've got the trim pieces put on. It's a piece that fits over the top, slides into here. So that trim piece is hidden in the back side of here. So now you know the rest of the story. Let me get back at working on that side of the house. We are ready to start laying out for the siding, but before we put the siding on, we got trim pieces to put on the bottom. Before you put your trim pieces on, you need to get a level line. That is the most important thing, to start with a level line all the way across. And we're doing that with our fancy little Milwaukee laser level there. I showed you that before, what we used before. So I've got it set up there, and I've got my line coming off the level, and it's just a reference line over here to get a straight edge that I can measure to put this this next piece of Z material on there. So I don't know if you can see the line, but I've got a line, and then I just go through every couple of feet and I put a pencil mark on there and use that as my reference line. That'll guarantee that I get that first strip on there straight. So right there's our line, and put a little pencil mark and just crawl your way around all the way down and do the entire length of the house to get your reference line on there. And then once we get the bottom piece on there and we get a couple of rows up, we're going to do the same thing with our laser level. We're going to get a line somewhere in this point to make sure that we're still going up straight. We'll show you that when we get there. We're getting there. Got a couple on that side. Got some pieces over there. Now I got to start cutting out for around the windows. What a beautiful day today. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and I'll start cutting up around the windows there. So thanks for sticking around today. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.